one. Drum roll, please. Quantum leaps and manifestation are an identity shift. You will not be the same person experiencing the success that you want as you are when you have that seed of inspiration. The identity shift is huge. You know, quantum means teeny tiny, atomic, right? And that actually is what the shifts look like in the identity shift. It's the teeniest, tiniest shifts in decisions, commitments, behaviors, habits, and actions, but they create the leap. They create this huge leap. And that is because of what I call quantum alignment, aligning energetically to this identity shift before you have arrived at wherever you want to go. Okay, so I actually created the quantum leap method to help people to do this, because it is not simple. And a lot of trauma-informed coaching, trauma healing does not help you to create the identity shift. It helps you to have the enlightenment that you are worthy, the enlightenment that you are good enough, the enlightenment that whatever enlightenment it is, but it doesn't help you to create the neuroplasticity of that new empowering belief, to create the empowered identity shift. And that is what the quantum leap method does. So this is because manifestation is based on the law of vibration, right? So as we saw, I'm not sure if any of you are following Anne here in the group. She's been talking since the minute she connected with Mystery School that she wants to publish a book. She wants to publish, in fact, I think she's got multiple books. She wants to publish her books, right? And so what happens with law of vibration, the seed of your thought, it goes out into what is called your morphic resonance. You create a quantum feedback loop, which I'm going to talk about today. And what happens in the vibration of that seed intention is it attracts opportunities to you that match, because it's like a magnet, okay? Now, that means that you now will be attracting opportunities to actually manifest what it is that you have seeded as intention. You did the see it method. This is super strong right now. So right now you are attracting opportunities all around you. That does not mean that you will claim and own that manifestation. And that's because of one thing: your personality, your ego, your belief systems. Please don't take offense when I say ego. I know that we've been taught to think that if you're egoic, it's a bad thing. Ego in the brain is a biological phenomenon. It is keeping you alive. It is your survival instinct. Your ego will step in and keep you safe at any cost, because that is the human instinct. We have a negativity bias in our brain that will always lead us to the safest option, the easiest path, the most familiar thing, because we have to stay alive. That is how we have evolved. You think about other species, the dinosaurs, gone. The other ones, gone. Humans have evolved and survived, but at what cost? And at what limit? And in what way as well, when we look societally at, I think I talked about it the other day, the divide between helplessness and power, and how society thrives on this polarity between helplessness and power, because it gives a sense of control. It allows us to be controlled and kept safe. Okay, so I write about this in my book, Leading with Light, in my chapter, which is called How Shamanism Will Save the World, because the shaman awakens a lion heart that doesn't need to stay safe anymore, and actually greets the rites of passage to this fearlessness with open arms and takes them. You think about back in the day when shamans fought bears and, lived in holes underground and didn't die. You have to meet your fear of death and overcome it. Death is rebirth. Energy cannot be expired. Energy cannot be extinguished. It can only be transferred, which means when you take your armors off, you evolve as your new version. Death and rebirth, death and rebirth. It should be constant, just like it is in nature. And when we can lose our fears, we also access our superconscious mind, which I'm going to talk about today. And that is powerful. So I'm going to introduce some topics that we are going to be talking about later in the week so that we're not cramming everything into today and just you go away feeling overwhelmed. I'm going to talk deeply into what I call the ripple effect of these beliefs. So these beliefs that create your ego and your personality, right? Your desires, your preferences, your actual survival instinct to stay safe, and how they actually create the identity that you have and the decisions that you make, which sabotage the law of manifestation. Based on that law of vibration, you are vibrating the opportunities into you. Your brain steps in and says, oh, no, it's not meant to look like that, or I can't afford to do it that way, or I thought it would be this way, or that's not safe. And then you lose the second part of the law of manifestation, which is the law of attraction, action, right? You take action on what comes to you. And it was interesting that when we had this conversation with Anne, sorry, Anne, I'm guinea pigging you, I'm calling you out, but this is such a good example. She stepped in with a narrative. You know, I said to Anne, I could publish a book. I could publish a book tomorrow, today, right? That is what we do as part of my program, is we publish authors. But Anne stepped in and said, no, it's meant to be the other way. Okay. So she's potentially has sabotaged the opportunity that has vibrated towards her. So we have to take action on what comes towards us, but to take action, we have to shift our belief systems. Even empowered belief systems, empowering belief systems are limiting because they're a belief system, okay? So if you think of all of your belief systems as fixed, we just want to be open. And to be open, we have to have trust, okay? So on day 6, we're going to talk a bit more deeply into the law of attraction. And in day 5, we're going to be talking into the trust piece deeply. Today, I want to introduce the idea of quantum feedback loops. So if you think about this seed of intention, right, it starts here. Ooh, you know, I'm starting to know myself. I'm starting to, you know, set my vision of what I want in the world. And a little thought comes to you, a little seed thought. I could do this, or I want this, right? And this little intention, this little seed thought actually has an energy, it has a vibration to it. And by having this power of intention, this seed thought, you actually catalyze its movement into the quantum feedback loop, okay? So this seed has its own hologram within it of like how it is going to manifest. And all you have to do as it goes into the morphic resonance, out into the quantum field, is keep your focus on what? I'm looking at the comments. Keep your focus on abundance. Keep your focus on the positive. Keep your focus on the feeling as if you've already got it. Keep your focus on the intention. Stay in the abundance and not the lack. Because if you stay on the abundance, then this little seed energy stays strong. And it goes around the quantum feedback loop and it comes back to you. It comes back to you in fullness, right? Absolute fullness and abundance. But if you then go to your external environment, so your seed intention is within, the feeling as if you already have it is within, the belief that it is possible is within. But if you go external and you start looking to the external world and what is happening around you, and you make reactions to those things, okay? So maybe you set this desire to manifest the dream client in your launch, and you start the process, you put the marketing out, suddenly you've only got 3 people signing up. You're looking at the people, you're going, oh my God, it's the wrong people. You're getting closer to the launch date and things aren't looking good. You get on the first few sales calls and do you know what I mean? And you start to dissipate the energy of your intention away. You start reacting to the physical world because of your belief systems. And this energy dissipates away. And so what comes back to you is actually nothing. And this is where you're not manifesting, okay? So your true desire and vision is within. And all you have to do is act on the inspiration of that true desire and vision. And then you have to trust. You have to trust that it is absolutely possible, that everything is possible. And you have to focus on your miracle frequency. I taught you how to awaken your miracle frequency. And I know that so many of you in the group right now, and again, I'm getting emotional, are sticking to it. You know, the messages, I'm doing the method, Claire, every single day. I'm committing to my breath work, my pauses, my space, my meditation, my affirmations, right? This is awakening your miracle frequency and keeping that miracle frequency switched on. And the miracle frequency will help you to bring the quantum feedback loop to you in full abundance. The thing that happens, right, when we really act on these inspirations and we really step into our greatness, is it's not comfortable. You know, really, it triggers all of our fears. It triggers all of the things that we worry about. It triggers the need to evolve and be differently, you know, be completely differently, react differently. I'll never forget about a year ago when I did pivot, and would be probably 18 months ago. And I basically said, no, I'm not bringing on any more one-to-one clients. I'm not bringing on any more mastermind clients until I figure out who I really want to work with. Okay, so I was almost afraid to attract more of the wrong client in, and I decided to physically stop selling. I had my affiliates, I had my network marketing, I had my digital sales or whatever, but I didn't have those big income jumps, right, for a little while. And what was interesting was I stayed focused on my abundance, and more came in terms of the digital sales, affiliates, and other opportunities as well. But that's a different story. You can read about it in my book. But there was a point where I really felt down to the line in terms of my faith and my trust, because I was looking at my external reality and I was saying, this is illogical. Like, everything inside of my being should be freaking out right now. And everything that I'm doing is terrifying, is scary. I was making, films on YouTube. I was setting up this mystery school. I was saying yes to speaking opportunities that were on this new topic. And I didn't feel like I knew how to talk about what I knew. It was all outside of my comfort zone. And I had to really keep the faith. I had to really look within and trust. And because of that, I've managed to take the quantum leap that I have. And this is what I say to my clients. My clients right now are going through the same thing with this book launch, which we've profiled in A Baptism of Fire. My client said to me, I'm so outside of my comfort zone right now. Like, I'm so uncomfortable, and she's sweating. And, I said to her, you know what to do. Go in, sit down, sit with your altar, go into yourself, breathe, bring in coherence. Use affirmations. I am safe. I am grounded. I am held. I am provided for. I am safe. I am trust. Because when you then look externally to your external world, you'll see differently. And I had to do that myself over and over again, because my external world didn't look safe. It didn't look logical. I did look crazy, and I did feel uncomfortable. But that is the rite of passage. That is the ritual of initiation to the next level that you want, okay? So when we go through the quantum leap method, I actually help you to breathe into this fullness of yourself, really get you connected with your authentic self. That is pillar one, really getting connected to the truth of you and the truth of what is possible for you. Then we can actually start to rewire the limiting beliefs, rewire the limiting programs that will get you stepping in and sabotaging what you're attracting towards you, right? Pillar 3 and pillar 4, we're going to talk about in the masterclass, in the last masterclass. But when you get to that place where you're rewiring your belief systems, you're actually able to take different action. You will bring these things towards you. You'll have open belief systems, and you'll have more trust, and you'll say yes to your yes. That's got to be a famous quote, isn't it? Say yes to your yes. Say yes to your yes. More often than not, saying no to our yes over and over again because of the things that we believe. So the quantum leap method is just one single part of the entire awakened wealth blueprint that I take my clients through. And that term, awakened wealth, is the idea that we do have to awaken to our limits, to our limiting belief systems, to our blocks, to be able to create wealth easily in a way that will create freedom, true freedom, inner freedom, outer freedom, and real happiness and fulfillment. Because of my story, realizing that I could make money, I could make money based on my limiting belief systems, but I would experience a limited life experience. I could have money and not be able to spend it because I couldn't expand my own experience of life because of the rope I'd tied around my neck based on these limiting belief systems. And I was continually attracting the same patterns too, to break me free from